Hi, everybody. My name is Brandy Dixon, and I am the COO and CFO of Best Cruises. I'm also fortunate enough to travel with many of our wonderful clients as a lead tour guide on incredible vacations all over the world, including our Alaska tours, land tours to many destinations, and several Viking river cruises. I may have even traveled with some of you before who are on the webinar. First, I want to thank each of you for taking the time to join us today for our Tulips and Windmills River Cruise webinar. I'm thrilled to share the details of this amazing trip with you, especially alongside my co-host Wendy from Viking and our tour guide for this river cruise, Denise Zall from Best Cruises. Just a little housekeeping to get out of the way. Everybody besides the hosts are muted during this webinar. However, there is a chat feature. And if you have any questions, we will have a Q&A session at the end of the webinar. So you can post your questions in the chat and we'll be able to pull them up. So, for those of you who don't know us well, Best Cruises and Tours is a family owned travel agency that has been operating in central New Jersey for nearly 32 years. We've sent over 140,000 of your friends and neighbors on vacations all around the world. And we're quietly one of the largest volume independent travel agencies in the state. We're proud members of the Better Business Bureau with an A+ rating, and we've earned top producer status with most major cruise lines and travel suppliers. But our most important endorsements come from you, our thousands of satisfied clients. Our number one source of new business continues to be repeat guests and their referrals, and our success is truly rooted in our commitment to personal service. That's why we've partnered with Viking, our number one river cruise supplier, to bring you this incredible Tulips and Windmills river cruise experience. They continue to be our top river cruise partner because they consistently deliver an outstanding all around vacation, earning the number one spot with both Travel and Leisure and Condé Nast Traveler year after year. River cruising, as you know, has become incredibly popular, and the Tulips and Windmills itinerary is a guest favorite. The tulip fields are in full bloom, and the windmills paint such a stunning backdrop across the countryside. Now, before we dive into the itinerary, I want to take a moment to talk about why it's so important to book early for this particular sailing. These Tulip and Windmills cruises always sell out quickly. We've been doing this a long time and we've seen firsthand just how fast they go. So remember, there's only a few sailings for this trip because you want to go during the height of tulip season. The ships are small, which is part of what makes river cruising so special, but it also means that space is extremely limited. Excuse me. We want our Best Cruises clients to have first access so you can choose your preferred stateroom and take advantage of the very best pricing and promotions. This itinerary is one of Viking's most popular, and they advertise it heavily. You've probably seen their commercials during your favorite shows, or maybe you've gotten one or three of their emails in your inbox or postcards in your mailbox. So once those national campaigns roll out, cabins can disappear really fast. The good news is the current promotion is one of the best we've seen, and we've combined that with some extra special pricing from Best Cruises. So now really is the perfect time to reserve your spot and lock in those savings. After today's webinar, you're going to receive a follow-up email from us with links to everything we're covering, detailed pricing, departure dates, special offers, and of course, our contact information. So now I'm super excited to introduce my co-host, Wendy Prater from Viking River Cruise Lines, along with Denise, our wonderful tour guide for the sailing, who's going to walk you through all the highlights of this unforgettable journey. Denise, take it away.
Hi, everyone. I'm Denise, and I will be the escort for this group. And I have been part of the Best Cruises family since 1998 and would love for you to join me on this cruise to see the tulip fields and Windmills of the Netherlands and Belgium. I've traveled on many rivers in Europe with Viking, and 4 months ago I was on a cruise that visited some of the same ports that we'll be doing on this trip. And after I returned, I knew I had to put a group together for others to experience the beauty of these two countries. So I hope you'll join me. Take it away, Wendy.
All right, fantastic. This is such a great team to work with, and I love partnering with Best Cruises. They're knowledgeable travel advisors. Really, you have the confidence of being able to know that you're in good hands, not only with Viking, but also Best Cruises. And, working with a knowledgeable travel advisor like the ones at Best Cruises, of course, offer you incredible time saving tips, travel tips, professional advice, and convenience. And of course, they can also help you pass along some additional savings to you with even some exclusive pricing. Of course, their guidance is key when it is that you're traveling. So I do always love to be able to share a little bit about that. The smartest tip is for you to book with a travel advisor at Best Cruises, because of course you're going to be in great hands. So I wanted to introduce you a little bit to the brand of Viking, because some of you may or may not be familiar with Viking. What's beautiful about our brand is that we offer experiences both in river, ocean, as well as expedition. So we cover all of the continents, and it's really fantastic because, of course, we visit all the oceans, of course, 21 rivers and 5 Great Lakes. So beautiful experiences throughout. And I really think it's just important to talk about the variety. There's a lot of different choices out there that you are considering when you are thinking about traveling to your destination. And what is so unique about Viking is really the purpose and the passion behind what it is that we do, and really making sure that you feel that these itineraries are carefully curated, and it's very much destination focused. So there you will see a picture of what we have in our rivers, our Viking longships. They are incredibly beautiful. We also have, of course, Viking Ocean and Viking Mississippi, as well as Viking Expedition. We have over 100 ships in our fleet. I love to also be able to share with you a little bit about the Viking philosophy. When it comes to all that we offer, our promise to you is that we're not striving to be everything to everyone. The majority of the travelers, I would say over 90% of our travelers, are English speaking, and they're all individual couples or travelers who it is that are curious minded and really interested in adventuring and connecting with the locals, as well as the history and the culture of the destinations. We do pride ourselves on being destination oriented. So of course, I love our itineraries. They're a nice balance between taking you from the iconic cities to the quaint towns. And you will find that also too with our offerings and through this webinar, that we offer a highly inclusive product. So we really, really pride ourselves on putting together, again, everything it is that you need, and really not charging you for anything it is that you don't need. You've got the freedom and flexibility to really customize your own experience as you're traveling on our destinations, whether you're doing by river, ocean, as well as expedition. And we pride ourselves also being an efficient operator and helping pass those savings along to you as our guests. We are also known as having the best staff in the cruise industry. We have the highest retention. So for us, service is key, and we love to make sure that you feel that you are truly exploring the world in comfort when traveling with Viking. So I always like to help you to understand really what stands out and helps us set us apart from a lot of other options out there. You will not find a casino on our ships and or children under the age of 18. Another thing that I absolutely love is no smoking on the indoor spaces. So those are 3 key bullet points that I think are important. Of course, we do have smoking, but it's outside in designated areas. We are going to be very different experience than maybe cruising experiences that you've done before on some of the other contemporary or premium brands. We can sit in the luxury market. And so while it is that we have this beautiful classification of luxury. It's this understated elegance. So when you are on our ships, you're not going to be seeing umbrella drinks or photographers or participating in art auctions. You actually won't even see any lines, except for maybe for the gelato. I do have to correct myself. Maybe for the gelato, there might be a line because it's pretty incredible. But I do have to say that there's just so many different inclusions, and we'll talk about that incredible value. As far as what we do cover in our pricing is, again, we want to give you that freedom and flexibility to customize your experience as you're in the destination. But we want to give you also, too, the framework of being able to have an included complimentary shore excursion that's actually led by one of our knowledgeable local guides. And we do also include a free Wi-Fi, all of your onboard meals featuring not only the regional specialties, but also, of course, the American classics are also can be found on our menus. Those are included. Your beer, wine, and soft drinks, they are also included with lunch and dinner, as well as your specialty teas and coffees. Now, of course, the goal is to really help you discover these World UNESCO Heritage Sites. So you will see a lot of those called out on a variety of our itineraries. And again, because we are really for those that are interested in enrichment, we do have these incredible lectures as well as destination performances and port talks that really help you get familiar with the destination that you're traveling through and what to expect for the next day. Also, too, the incredible value that you have. All the port taxes and fees are included, as well as your grand transfers when it is that you're booking Viking Air. Let's talk a little bit more about the onboard enrichment, because of course that's the key of connecting you to the culture and the history and really bringing your experiences to life. Again, I love that we do have resident historians that are on the ship, and they do offer some incredible presentations about the destination, the history, the art, the culture, the architecture. And then, of course, the port talks, like I had mentioned, are really a nice overview and general understanding of what to expect in that next port of call. So they do this through a variety of different presentations, including some multimedia. We do also, of course, have performers that are on the ship, and we do include local performers where we invite those on the ship to also do, some iconic experiences as well. And of course, if cooking and craft demonstrations are something that you're really into, we, of course, also preview a lot of those experiences as part of our itinerary, as well as wine tastings. One of the fun facts that I love about Viking, that's not usually the case for most other cruise lines, is that when it is that you're traveling through these fantastic regions where they're known for their wine, you can bring on a bottle of wine from the local region, and there's no corking fee. You can drink that during the day in your cabin, your stateroom, and or bring it with you for dinner. So that's a wonderful thing to be able to add. So when it is that we do have these experiences, of course, the key is really connecting you and really going beyond the expected, and then also offering some iconic experiences. And we really frame those with local life, working world, and privileged access. And so you will see that there will be a variety of different mix based on, if your, again, interests are history or art or shopping or the local artisans. Of course, this is something that we bring through with featuring whether it's a local market and or how the local bread maker. Of course, you've got, the local winemakers, maybe you're visiting a vineyard. So there's lots of different options for local life and working world. And then we have some exclusive opportunities that are called privileged access. These are specific opportunities where you have access to a museum or a palace or something that's very unique, like a cathedral, before or after hours, and it's just specifically for the Viking guests. Now, as I wanted to give a little bit more insight to some specifics on this particular itinerary. So, of course, as you're moving through the beautiful Netherlands and Belgium, absolutely gorgeous scenery, and of course, incredible, history and interesting, beautiful sights to see along the way with these flora and fauna of the regions. So these are some different examples of local life. Maybe you enjoy a hosted visit at a Dutch residence and you pedal along through the quiet village. Or, Working World would be an example of where it is that you can witness the windmills and, see how, again, the design and the functionality has really worked very well for that area as far as, keeping everything incredibly running very well with all of their water systems. Then, of course, if you look down in the left-hand corner, you can see there's an example of the Delftware factory, where this is where the porcelain is made, the iconic blue and white porcelain. Of course, then there's also examples of visiting a cheese farm. So the list goes on and on. One of my favorite experiences is the privileged access with this vintage barge. And so as you are looking on your Viking journey, there's an app, it's called My Viking Journey. You'll have different options where you can go through the different types of excursions that we do offer. You'll see the excursion type, the activity level, as well as the different features. And so depending on your pace of how it is that you want to go, you can pay attention to that activity level. But this privileged access experience is really something quite unique because you travel to the windmills by vintage barge, which is actually about 125 years old. And you get to meet with the miller and his family and tour their garden. And of course, the traditional outbuildings is what they call them, the shed and the outhouse. And so it's just a great opportunity to, again, learn the history of this area and tour the windmills. Again, that's privileged access. So the key about traveling is, of course, that peace of mind, this unpack once concept where you can really get settled in and you're really moving through these destinations very effortlessly. And you get to take in, again, the heart of the destination. I love the size of our ships, no more than 190 passengers. And so, again, we're able to dock in stations that really make it very convenient to be right at the heart of everything that you want to see and do when you're traveling through these areas. And then also keep in mind, you're traveling with like-minded individuals. So, these other guests that are on the ship, they're just as curious and, of course, adventurous and interested in personal enrichment just the same way as you are. And of course, we put our best foot forward with our service, paying attention to detail. And really, this staff just does such a great job with making you feel at home. And even though that again, we sit in the luxury sector of the market, it's this quiet elegance, it's this understated, beautiful, serene environment that you can just become very comfortable in. And of course, without any children at our casinos, that's even more fantastic. So let's talk just a little bit about the design of our ships, which is actually pretty incredible. We do have this Scandinavian design. It's a residential design. So when you are coming onto the ship, you will feel that the space is very light, bright, airy. All of the staterooms are appointed with heated bathroom floors, anti-fog mirrors, luxury bed linens. It's just a really beautiful attention to detail, again, without being overdone. So now let's get into the heart of the art of river cruising with Viking. So that is a picture of our longship. And like Brandy mentioned, we actually are voted #1 in rivers as well as oceans with Condé Nast. So we just got that for the 5th year in a row. So we are due to update that from 2024 award to the 2025. So super excited to share that news with you. But you will see that our longships are only 4 decks high. And as I move through the atrium and these beautiful spaces, again, you will pay attention to just, even though that it's contemporary and this modern luxury, it's very comfortable and relaxing. From the lounge to the bar to these little sitting nooks that you can see along the different deck plans, absolutely stunning. You've got these floor to ceiling windows. So you've got these panoramic views. There are no inside staterooms on the Viking River ships. And of course, you've got lots of great dining options from both indoor and outdoor. I love the Aquavit Terrace. It's a great way to just grab some breakfast, have a coffee, a glass of wine, depending on the time of day, and just really take in the views. And then, of course, if you really want to go a little further up, there's the sun deck. So this is great because, of course, if you don't want to be in the sun, there's beautiful shade that you can take advantage of, or again, just another incredible view as you're moving along through the river. So you've got different options with our different stateroom categories. You've got the veranda suite, which is a beautiful accommodation. You also have the veranda stateroom, as well as the French balcony. So there's lots of different options that, based on the price point that you're looking for, you can talk with the travel advisor around what it is that would meet your needs. Now, with regards to, again, river cruising, the key to this is, again, really getting you into the heart of the destination. It's right really at your doorstep. So we own the majority of docking areas in Europe. So we have the most prime locations, which is pretty incredible. So I'm going to move on to talking a little bit about Tulips and Windmills, because this is the itinerary that we're featuring with Best Cruises. It's a round trip Amsterdam. It's a 10-day itinerary, 8 guided tours, and 2 countries. And again, those 8 guided tours are going to be hosted by a local Viking representative. So very knowledgeable local guide who, again, is going to be known for their service, their education, and again, be able to help you have an understanding of the local area. And again, so this is a beautiful itinerary. Denise is going to be your host. It's a 10-day. And the dates for this is April 10th to the 19th for 2027. And that's exactly right. Planning is key with this, because Randy mentioned, and she was right on point about the fact that we do sell out about 12 to 18 months in advance. So this is perfect timing. Now, we will go through a little bit of this navigation. Of course, I love this itinerary because you're starting and ending in Amsterdam. So, of course, when you're considering airlift and your flights, of course, Best Cruises can take care of all of the details for pre and post, as well as your flights and your transfers. But I do love Amsterdam so much, and it's probably one of my favorite areas. So I love that this itinerary starts and ends there, especially because, again, for flight and airlift, it's an easy in and out gateway. So let's talk a little bit about Amsterdam. It's probably one of my favorite areas all throughout Europe. It's just one of these incredible areas where, of course, it is known for its canals. That canal actually is stretching over 31 miles with 1,500 bridges. It really is a very walking friendly city. Of course, the main point of transportation is actually by bicycle, as well as also they've got these glass domed boats that are through the canals as well. So you'll also, see these beautiful gabled homes. And of course, it's also known for its museums. The Rijksmuseum is here, as well as the Van Gogh Museum. Of course, I just love it because it's incredibly charming. And so when you're starting off on this itinerary, you are going to start off with an included canal cruise, which again, I think there's just some beauty about seeing the destination both by day as well as night. And you'll have that opportunity here in Amsterdam. And then there's also the walking tour. So if it is that you wanted to tour, let's say the Delft walking tour and the porcelain ware, you have that, of course, factory opportunity where you can go and purchase an additional excursion, or you can choose to really go about your own leisure. So again, we give you the freedom and flexibility to choose. Of course, this is the most beautiful garden in all throughout Europe. I absolutely love Keukenhof Gardens. It is well known, and of course, the timing of this trip is ideal for seeing all of the blooms in full vibrancy. The gardeners, there's actually 29 gardeners, over 29, I believe, that actually plant over 7 million bulbs every year. And it's pretty incredible. It's a wide mix of daffodils and lilacs and tulips and roses. And as you peruse through these gardens, it's really spectacular. So you will make your way to Keukenhof Gardens. Of course, you are also going to be sailing, doing a scenic sailing on IJsselmeer, which is an artificial body of water. It's one of the largest lakes all in Europe. And you're going to be sailing to this, it's a small town. It's called Enkhuizen. So what's really unique about this fishing village is that this was thriving in the 17th century, and it really is known for maritime trade as well as shipbuilding. So Enkhuizen is a great area where you can explore by foot all of the historic sites. And of course, it's known as one of the most beautiful cities in all of Netherlands. And it's, of course, known for its Dutch Golden Age charm. There's, of course, also a great museum that features the maritime history of the area. There's also a tulip farm that you can also visit and also be able to further explore the windmills. And then if it is that you're interested in being able to experience a local cheese shop and farm, they also have that as an option as well. And then you're making your way to Arnhem. So now, of course, this is a town that was nearly destroyed during World War II. It's actually known for the Battle of Arnhem. So they have an airborne museum there, especially if you're interested in history and or nature or shopping or art. There's really something for everyone in this area. Of course, the museum there, which is the Moller Museum, it's the second largest collection of the Vincent van Gogh paintings. So absolutely incredible. They have one of my favorite things, which is called the Air Museum. This is open air museum is actually a living museum of all of the local craftsmen and artisans, and of course, traditional villages and agriculture in the area. So this is open during that time of year as well, and hopefully you'll be able to explore that. Of course, you may want to enjoy bike riding through, the national park, and that's also another incredible option as well. So let's talk a little bit about Kinderdijk, because of course everyone knows that windmills sit at the heart of the Netherlands, that most people associate the tulips and the windmills with this area. Kinderdijk is so unique because of course it has 19 preserved windmills from the 18th century. And some of these are working windmills, and then some of them continue to be residents. So this is considered a World UNESCO Heritage Site. And of course, lots of opportunity for you to explore this area, whether it's by foot and or by bike and or by the vintage barge that we had talked about a little earlier. This also, of course, has an opportunity for you to be able to explore further the Dutch cheese making. So, again, that is their top producer of cheese is in this area. So you got to make sure that you definitely try that out. And then we're moving over to Antwerp. Of course, this is such a beautiful little area, the town square. And, you've got this area is actually most renowned for its diamonds, as well, of course, as its chocolates. So, in Belgium, most individuals associate Belgium with beer and chocolates. Of course, you can enjoy tasting your way through Belgium, but there's also some really great, incredible history and culture and experiences. This has nice contrast of old and new, also featuring commerce and art. So if you are thinking about doing a walking tour, that's an option here because you can really get up close and front with a lot of these incredible historical sites, as well as, of course, seeing the culture of Brussels. Now we're moving over to Middelburg and Veer. And of course, this is known for its historical significance. Of course, the medieval buildings. They have this Gothic type of style town hall, which is dated back to the 15th century. They're also known for the jazz festivals as well as the mussel festivals. So they do a lot of celebration here, of course, of the history. And that Veer is very much a small, historic, quaint town. It's a really pretty marina area. Of course, if you get a chance to definitely try some of the local flavors, I would encourage you to do so. And as you move over to Zealand, this is a unique area and it consists of a lot of islands as well as peninsulas. Zealand actually means sealand, and that's because it's a blend of natural and human made landscapes. So the area is really known for its oysters as well as its mussels. There's lots of different experiences that you can have. Of course, there's nothing better than eating fresh oysters with a glass of beautiful wine. And so there do have some different excursions where you can enjoy some of the flavors of Holland, but then you can also further explore the system of the dams, the tunnels, and the bridges, and that would be through the Delta Works. And so if that's something of your interest, lots of options there as well. And then we're coming back to Amsterdam. Now, this is the Anne Frank House and Museum. Of course, this is a popular feature for a lot of travelers who want to go and experience this. We do not offer an excursion for this, but you can buy timed tickets. They do encourage you to purchase these usually about 6 weeks in advance. And, you do have additional leisure time to really take in, a coffee or to try their stroopwafel or to really enjoy, again, some of the beautiful sights and sounds of this city. It's very exciting, both by day as well as night. So beautiful views, of course, along the canal that you can continue to take in. And of course, if you're brave enough, maybe you just jump on a bicycle and explore by bicycle. There is quite a bit of those that in Amsterdam. So I want to talk with you about this opportunity because November brings a very unique promotion. We've got 2 different sales that are going on. We've got the fall sale as well as the gift of travel. So these are 2 great windows of opportunity where you can book and save additional monies. The gift of travel to me is a really incredible rich offer. It offers shipboard credit per couple, plus up to free international airfare on selected voyages with only a little deposit of $25. So that offer is good through to the entire month of November and does expire on the 30th. So, of course, this is the Viking difference. We're destination focused. It's all about offering culturally enriching programs, and we have carefully curated to make sure that we're bringing the best experiences forward to you as our guests. And we'd love to welcome you on your next trip and with Viking. If you book within the next 14 days, there's an incredible offer that in addition to our November specials, that you can combine this with an additional shipboard credit. So I just definitely want to say thank you for attending our webinar this evening. I'm going to turn it over to Denise because she's going to go a little bit further into the information specifics about the upcoming itinerary.
So I'm so excited for you to join me on this wonderful cruise through some of the most beautiful ports of call. You'll be receiving an email from us with information on pricing and the benefits of booking your cruise with Best Cruises. Please give our office a call by November 20th for the extra shipboard credit of $100 per person. You can speak to either myself, Larry, Patty, or Sandy to get started, and we are here 7 days a week.
Okay, fantastic. So this is the number and contact information. I just want to make sure that we leave this here on the page. And if it is that we have any questions in the chat, we will go ahead and open that up. So let me take a look and see if I have access. Oh, good. Fantastic.
So what does travel advisor mean? So a travel advisor is basically a travel agent. So somebody like Denise or one of the other agents in our office, that would be a travel advisor that can help book the trip for you and get you all the promotions that are available and the correct room. So there's a couple other questions. I don't know the specifics of this because somebody said they're already booked and they're asking when did the excursions open up.
Yes, you would have to just talk with your travel advisor
Yes.
or your travel agent, and they will be able to let you know. Also, you could probably access that through your Viking Journey. It's My Viking Journey is the app, and you'll be able to get those details of when those excursions open up.
Right, because Susan, there's different dates based on the category that you're booked in on the ship. So
That's correct.
whoever helped you book, they can definitely get that information for you. Um, Denise, here's a
Oh,
question about how much
mhm.
more for one person in a room.
Well, we'd
Yes.
have to price that out specifically. We don't have a price on that right now, but please give our office a call and we can look into what the price of a single would be. And of course, there's different categories depending on where you want to be on the ship. So,
Okay, and I think I'm seeing a question about my main interest is tulips. How many places are there to see tulips? Well, Keukenhof Garden is the place to see, of course, the tulips, but there could be other intermittent places throughout. Of course, they are. You're also visiting some national parks based on the shore excursions that you might choose. There could be some other additional offers out there, but Keukenhof Gardens is really the key place that most go to see the tulips.
Um, did did all the questions get answered, Wendy? I lost
I
internet for a second.
That's okay.
Oh, how difficult is it to get to the Anne Frank? So
Yeah.
I will tell you that I was in Amsterdam, and what you have to do is you have to purchase tickets. The only place to purchase them is through the Anne Frank Museum, which you can do online. You have to do it about 6 weeks before you travel. So literally, I would look on a calendar and do 6 weeks before you travel because that's when they become available for that day, 6 weeks out. And you should be able to get tickets online as long as you make sure that you're purchasing them. And you'll see there's different time slots and different things. So, you absolutely can get them online though, because I've been in Amsterdam and I have gone to the Anne Frank Museum, as has many of my clients that have been there. How far is the ship from the Anne Frank house? It depends where the ship docks, but it's really not that far. When I was there, I took a cab to the Anne Frank house. You could walk, but it was quite a walk, so I ended up taking a cab. I want to say it was about a 15-minute drive to get there. Of course, you're dealing with the city, you're dealing with traffic, you're dealing with one-way streets, you're dealing with different things, but it really does depend where the ship docks. But if the ship docks in the normal area, it's about a 15-minute cab ride to
yeah,
the Anne Frank.
when I was there, I walked it actually, and it wasn't bad at all. Somebody had also asked about Bruges and seeing that. And I believe there is an excursion that you can purchase to Bruges and Ghent. They also have a 3-night package for Bruges and Ghent that includes the hotel, 3 tours, breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner. So that can also be added on if you wanted to see that area.
Wonderful.
I
Any other
think
questions? All right. Fantastic. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. We're super excited about this itinerary. Like I said, this will sell out. So this November promotion is a great window for you to book. Best Cruises can give you all the additional details for pre, post, for your air, for your transfers, all of that good stuff. They are there to be able to assist you. And again, just my top tip, as I always say, definitely buy travel insurance. And my other top tip is make sure you pack half the amount of clothes and twice the amount of cash. So, yeah. So,
one
I
more
hope,
question.
oh,
Susan is
one
asking if the 3-day pre or post is worth it. I think that that would probably be something to explore with your travel advisor, and they can go over the details, and it's really a personal decision. I can tell you personally that every time I do a Viking cruise, I typically do a pre or a post, and it is definitely worth it. It is definitely a great experience. I've done them in Amsterdam, I've done them in Budapest, I've done them in Prague, and I would say that every time the experience was fantastic. But we could go over the details with you if you call the office, and then you could make a decision about the pre or post that you're interested in.
All right. Well, fantastic, everyone. Thank you again for joining us. Again, reach out to Best Cruises. They will follow up with you. And also, you said, Randy, there's an email that's going to be coming to everyone with
Correct.
all of the added details that has been shared in a flyer form to your
Correct.
email. Okay.
Yes. Thank you very much,
Thank
everybody.
you.
We appreciate you joining us for this webinar.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening.
Bye bye.